Hi everyone, this is Ms. Dahlquist, and I wanted to show you a couple functions on Google Classroom that I think will make it easier to organize your work. If you go to your Classroom homepage through the main menu, you can click the classes here and it'll take you and have a preview of everything. Let's look first at the calendar function. In here, anything that a teacher has assigned on Classroom with a due date attached will appear and you'll see the assignment when it's due. So today on Wednesday, I assigned some work to my students that is due on Monday. And so it appears in the Monday folder. If you click on these assignments, it'll take you directly to the page and you can find your work and complete it through there. Another function from the homepage is the to-do list. If you open this, you will be able to see anything that has been assigned in Classroom and it can take you directly there. What's nice about this page is that it compiles all your classrooms into one, so you don't have to navigate necessarily each class individually if you have some due dates coming up. Another function you can see is your missing work. If there's anything that has been past due that you did not turn in yet, it will appear on here. So instead of having to remember what you have and haven't turned in yet, if you go to the missing work, it will show in here. Now, this only works for assignments that are put in through Google Classroom that have a due date attached. If anything is being assigned outside of Classroom, it won't necessarily appear in here. So make sure you continue to check in with your teachers about what is due and what you are missing. But those two tools might be helpful for you to start organizing some of your work.
Hi everyone, my name is Ms. Kat and I'm one of the ESOL teachers here at Rittner High School, and I wanted to go over 8 ways to stay focused or on task during your virtual learning. Number 1, alarms. It is a very good idea to start using a clock or an alarm app to go off on either your phone, your Chromebook, using an actual website, or your alarm at home. This is recommended so it keeps you on task and on time for all of your classes throughout the day. Some alarm times to set up would probably be best to set off for the beginning of a class or the end of a class. Any login times that you have coming up, and of course your lunch and your breaks on Mondays, just to remind yourself to kind of get away. You can also set it up for the end of school to remind yourself you're done with schoolwork for the moment. And for those who are in any clubs or after school activities and sports, this would also be a good way to remind yourself when you need to train, when you need to get into contact with people. Over to your right, you will see that there is an example that there's the online help mindfulness one day, first and second period, third and advisory or husky time, fifth and my plan period, and then my sixth and seventh end period. So all of my classes have been set up for my Tuesday through Friday schedule. Number 2, create lists and daily agendas. You should try to outline what you want or need to get done either for the day or for the week. And this can be in either a digital or paper-based format. To make these lists, you could use a schedule, a planner, post-it notes, or you can use an old journal and notebook. You can also download from different app stores for your phone or extensions for your Chromebook. But the idea is that when you make these lists, you are checking them off. You're keeping track of everything so you know what is finished, what still needs to be done, and you can also keep track of the time frame in which you have to work on that assignment. And of course, most importantly, the due dates assigned by your teachers. I recommend setting a reward for yourself at the end when you've been able to accomplish all tasks for the week. Number 3, create a routine. Since we are now not in school, it's kind of hard to know where you're going and what you're doing when you're parked in one location. So my suggestion is to download an app, either on your phone or through Chromebook, And try to set up a schedule for yourself. And with these these can be daily simple tasks just by waking up, eating lunch, walking the dog. Of course, your school tasks. Hey, you're in your school time frame at this moment. So your class times, adding assignments, if you have to email a teacher. And for those of you who have an after school job, this would be a great way to remind yourself, or if you're just helping out at home with chores, your siblings, and so on. It's similar to number 2, where you just kind of check off all the different tasks that you're doing. And it just kind of makes you have a set schedule for each day and you know all the things that you have to accomplish. Um, if you are new to trying to get in this routine I suggest you only make it weekly for the school week because your weekends are usually your personal time and you can't always set up a routine for your weekends. Number 4, create a study space. You should set up a central study space somewhere in either your room or elsewhere in the house. This should be where you focus on school and your classes. And this should also be the place where you do your assignments and get all schoolwork done. You usually should be in an environment that has a desk or a table. So even the kitchen is a fine place to be, but you need that office space. So if your parents have one or you've worked out a place that you can go to during the day, I highly recommend that because it will be a place for you to focus, especially with little to no distraction, such as a bed, or a TV, which you could also do in your bedroom. So for those of you who already have a desk space set up, try to do a different room arrangement, feng shui it in a different way, so that you're able to keep your relaxation space and your workspace separate. And I think the biggest things is that it's a good idea to try to stay off of your bed and off of your couch because you're going to start to associate your bed and the couch as your workplace. Number 5, create some music playlists. A lot of teachers have found, as well as based on the science, that if you listen to music while you work, you're able to stay focused. But in this case, it's not just for focus, but also for you to recognize some time frames. So if you listen to short playlists, maybe set at 20 and 30-minute cycles, you'll have a better idea of, hey, look, I've got time in which to work on this assignment because it's asynchronous time. I'm going to focus and try to invest about 20 minutes of my time. So again, it helps you stay focused and it helps you recognize time that you have been given by a teacher. It's of course also a way to just kind of cool down. So if you're on a break period, set a 10 to 15 minute song cycle to play through just to cool down and get that break in. And then once that's done, it's time to get back to schoolwork. Some suggested music that I think would be best to try to listen to are, of course, your favorite songs or songs by favorite artists. And there are also specific genres that have been known to help students and adults focus better, such as classical, R&B, and jazz. And some of the, of course, top music styles for focus and concentration in the last couple of years has been binaural beats for that deep focus music. The other thing that is kind of interesting, and I do this, is you set a 1 hour or 30-minute song on repeat, and it just keeps cycling through. So you're able to focus because it's no longer you focusing on the lyrics, but just the melody and the beats. Number 6, change of location. When you are not doing classwork, you need to get away from your school environment or your work environment. It's best just to kind of change up the space, take that break, go outside, take a walk, play a sport, play with your younger siblings, and so on. Um, when you change your location, the best time to do it is obviously during break and lunch, because as I said before, you don't want to associate your relaxation or break space with your workspace. Another good time in which to change up your location, not just with breaks and just taking a 5-minute walk around, is during study hall. If you are offered a study hall period, or if you already have one built into your schedule, I highly suggest taking yourself outside because it is fall, so cooler weather. But just finding a new location to sit in can kind of help you reset yourself, even though you are working. It's just like going to the library or working at home instead of like at the school or in your work environment. Number 7, use free time wisely. So again, going to study hall, usually if you are done with your classwork and you no longer have anything to do, this would be a good time to try to stick up with your DIY projects, try to study a new language, read a book, build a puzzle, anything like that. You want to stay productive during the day, and you don't want to get too far distracted because then you'll forget, hey, I'm in school while at home. So with any free time given, use it for study hall to get classwork done so you don't have any homework, or use it to catch up on some of your interests. And number 8, one of the most important things, give yourself a break. You don't want to be online for a solid 8 hours. And this is not just with school, this also includes just being on your phone, watching TV, or playing with a game console. The idea is that you do give yourself that mental break. You want to rest your eyes, rest your brain, because there's so much technology coming at you. I highly recommend you take the lunch break that you got, since you now have an hour. And when we get back, fingers crossed, maybe we'll all have a longer lunch break. But at this time, take the breaks that are provided to you Monday, and then your usual lunch and anything that your teachers might provide you during the day. I myself do encourage you to take a short nap if you've got nothing else to do, but try not to do it for more than 45 minutes. Rest your eyes, try to get that relaxation in, and we call it resting your foot in my house. But the idea is that you're able to close your eyes, get rid of that strain, and just kind of decompress. So those are the 8 ways to stay focused or on task. And if you have any questions or concerns with anything that went over, feel free to email your teacher or myself. And I'm happy to give any additional suggestions to you. And also, of course, any apps or planners that I think would be a good recommendation for you. But before we end, quick bonus for you. I highly suggest that everyone invest in blue light blocking glasses. As we know, a lot of students are staying up late and submitting some assignments later into the evening, and you're getting eye strain, your eyes are getting blurry, you're getting headaches, can't sleep as well. It's been found through science that these blue light blocking glasses, and they are known to prevent the intake of too much blue light, which is known to keep people awake. If you have any questions or would like to learn a bit more as to how blue light prevent blocking glasses help, there is an article included from Umi Zato with the top 10 reasons how they are beneficial.
Hi everyone, I'm Ms. Beamer from the English department, and our last topic in advisory today is communicating with and getting help from your teachers. I wanted to remind you, first of all, that during class time, your teachers are live and online and ready to answer your questions and help you with whatever you need. So during class, instruction, and work time, unmute yourself when appropriate, ask your question, get an answer from your teacher immediately. You can also use the chat box function in Google Meet or Zoom to ask a question during instruction if you don't want to interrupt. Or if there's a lot of other things going on, and then your teacher can answer that when they get there. Also during class time, if you feel like you need a few extra minutes or you have a question that you don't necessarily want to ask to everyone, you can always ask your teacher if you can set up a one-on-one. They might be able to do that during class, go into a breakout room with you for a few minutes, answer your question. I do that frequently in my classes. Or the teacher might schedule the time with you right then to meet up a little bit later on and talk about your assignments or your concerns. Speaking of scheduling time, remember that before school starts, your teachers are online and ready to help you. And depending on the Husky Time activity on Wednesdays and Fridays, sometimes on those days, teachers will also be available. A third time to be aware of is the asynchronous learning time on Monday, when you don't have a class scheduled, but everybody's online and ready to help. You can ask a teacher to schedule an appointment with you to spend some time helping you get caught up on your work during any of those times, and a particular teacher might even have some other times available. The last way to communicate with teachers is through email outside of class. If something comes up while you're working at a different time, email your teacher, and your teacher will get back to you. So we're here to help. Please reach out and have a great day.